Welcome to Health Psychology. You have made it to the Start Here menu of Plato. And this is going to be where you find everything that you'll be needing throughout the semester. So, some documents that are going to be helpful, the syllabus, and so forth. So, this is really kind of like your one stop shop for everything that has to do with the class. So, I'm just going to walk you through it real quick just so that it can orient you to what is here. I've got your syllabus. I've also got my bio. So this is just a little bit about me so that you can get to know me as your instructor. This will also serve as an example for when you create your bio, which I talk about a little bit more in week 1. So you're going to want to come back to this. Here is all your textbook info, and you should have received this as well via email. I emailed everyone enrolled in the class just so that you'd have the text info ahead of time. It's really important that you have your books no later than the start of week 2. As you're going to see already in week 1, when we open up week 1 tab and I talk about that, that we start right in on the material. I usually give a PDF of the first chapter of both books to kind of get you started and get you going in case there is a little delay, but you should plan on having your books no later than Monday the 6th, or actually I think Monday's the 7th, so that you can get started right away in the class. This is really important because you can't do the work in a timely fashion if you don't have the textbooks. So just be aware, the bookstore has the books. You can buy them online also, but again, online might have shipping delays. So you always want to make sure and check when you're going to receive your books. Don't purchase books that you won't receive for 2 to 3 weeks, because that won't be a good excuse as to why you can't do the work. Okay, so those are the 2 books. This is the main textbook, Health Psychology, that we'll be using chapter by chapter throughout the semester. And this is a book that goes along with it. It's meant to complement the main material that we're learning about, with sort of a veer off into some more in-depth research, linking health with longevity. This project, the Longevity Project, looks at all sorts of constructs, such as personality, habits, traits, lifestyle factors, genetics, that lend themselves to our overall health and well-being, as well as to how long we live, so longevity. So we're going to be taking a look at this book chapter by chapter as we go along with the main textbook, and both books will serve as the basis for discussion questions each week. In terms of discussion questions, those are going to be my main way of gauging your writing in this class. Those are assignments where you are going into a discussion board and you are posting your comments to questions that I pose, and then you're also commenting on what your peers are writing. And so you want to check these cite as you write instructions so that you can be sure to be citing your sources properly as you're using them. So when you want to pull material from either of the textbooks, you want to do that in the right way in APA format, as required for this class. So just be sure that you open up the cite as you write instructions. It's just a 1-page document that gives you some examples as to how to cite by author and date. If you're taking a direct quote, how do you cite that? And all of that good information. This is information on how to access the modules that go along with the physiological systems of the body that we're going to be covering in the main chapter of Serafino, main text of Serafino and Smith. There are some interactive modules that the authors have made available that kind of walk you through each physiological system of the body. So like the immune system or the nervous system or the endocrine system. So there's information on how to access those, and it really just goes along with and complements the information that's already in chapter 2 of your text, where you'll find all the physiological modules there. And there's more information about the specifics of that in your syllabus, so you want to check that out. I just put a quick little blurb about how to email your professor. I'm really big on this. Oftentimes I get emails that are like, hey, I'm not sure where to find the lecture slides. Can you tell me? And there's no name signed and the grammar's awful. Just bad impressions if you don't craft a nice email to your professors. So just the basics, of what to say when you're emailing any professor, not just me, that would make it helpful for us to help you, okay? I've put some policy links here: academic honesty, plagiarism, how we handle it at Westfield. If it were to happen, what is it? So please check those out. This is a quick little video on grammar because I feel like in psychology we do a lot of writing. Although we are not in the English department, writing is a large part of research. Writing is a large part of critical thinking and how to communicate your ideas. So you want to make sure that you're always writing with those things in mind. And this video is just a kind of a funny little take on some common errors everyone makes in their writing. And lastly, I've posted some campus resources. All of these are available to you, but I do just want to note that due to COVID, these individual departments might have specific guidelines set in place as to how to access these resources. So just be sure you're contacting that department if you're needing services there, so that you can be aware of the ever-changing nature that everyone's dealing with because of COVID. And here is information on how to do a discussion board post. I will also post this in the first week of class, as that will be the first discussion post you'll be making. But check out the rubric. I give you guidelines on how to best craft your discussion board posting, your original post to questions I pose, as well as how to craft your answers to other people in response to what they're posting. So that about does it. That's everything in the Start Here menu. The next place you're going to want to go to is week 1, where I will also have a podcast overview of the week and what you will be doing there. Thanks, everybody.